This is Border Crossings. I'm Larry London, and on today's show, singer-songwriter Tiffany Woys. Tiffany says her parents didn't want her to become a singer, but they bought her a karaoke machine when she was a child, never expecting her to pursue her passion for music. She stuck with her dreams, and today she's considered one of the artists to watch according to CMT and A Taste of Country. Her self-titled EP is now available, and Tiffany describes it as dramatic, edgy, and country. Her CD was inspired by her own true life challenges, although she is still a child at heart and admits to visiting Disneyland over 100 times. Join us for Tiffany Woys coming up on today's Border Crossings. Hi, I'm Larry London. Welcome to Border Crossings. And today on our show, we have a country music singer who is an artist to watch. And she's one of the hottest names in country right now. On the rise, we'd like to welcome to Washington, D.C., and to the Voice of America, Tiffany Woys. It's nice to have you here.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
We welcome you. And this is an exciting time that you have just recently put out your EP.
Very exciting. Yeah, it's been about 6 to 7 years in the making of actually putting something out. So I was very anxious, and I'm very excited to actually have things out there for people to listen to.
Why did it take so long?
It was just a process of growing and kind of learning about myself and finding myself as an artist. I think if I would have put something out 6 years ago, I might not be as proud or as the person that I wanted to kind of for everyone to see. And it's quite a journey, but it's totally worth it.
And when you actually started in school, you were doing theater? Kind of to help you out a little
bit? When I was really little, I did a bunch of theater, and I loved just being on stage. And then that kind of transitioned into joining cheerleading, which was another form of performing. And then when I went to school, starting in high school and then off to college, I was really into politics, and so I wanted to be a lawyer. And I realized that was another version of just performing. And I'd always wanted to do singing, but it was something that I don't think that my parents were exactly thrilled about, which I understand. I think once I become a mom, I don't know if my kid comes to me and wants, I want to be in entertainment. I don't know if that's going to be the first thing that I choose for them. But they're super supportive now, and they realize that everything else that I was diving into wasn't really feeding the creative passion in me, and the energy that I really wanted to give was towards entertaining and singing.
And I read where you had said that growing up in Sacramento was not always an easy place to get discovered and to be seen. And you were all about being seen.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, yes, I do music because I love it, but I wanted to do it on a bigger scale. And to do country music on a bigger scale, Sacramento, California, unfortunately, is not the place to be. I mean, I know a lot of artists come through Sacramento, but it's not where you can actually, get your hands dirty and really get involved. And you have to be in Nashville, to be quite frank. And because Nashville and country music is such a close-knit community, and it's about relationships, and it's about that authenticity. And so for me, it was just like, I got to go to Nashville, and I love it. I won't move back.
What's the biggest change or adjustment you had to make moving from Sacramento to Nashville?
Probably moving all my clothes, but...
That's the biggest change, moving your clothes.
Or moving my cats, which was another, getting them through TSA, not fun. I don't suggest it if you have cats. Take the drive. There really wasn't that big of an adjustment. I think it's because I was working back and forth in Nashville for 5 to 6 years. So I got to know the town really well. And even where I'd rent a car and I would just kind of even drive just to get lost and then find my way back. Because I knew eventually I would end up being there. And I started meeting friends along the way, people in the music business. So the transition was just crazy easy, actually.
And why did you pick country music?
Ever since I heard LeAnn Rimes for the first time.
Okay.
I just fell in love with her vocal because she's a stylist as well, and I like to think that I'm a stylist. And then I started diving more into other people like Martina McBride and Faith Hill, and I realized that there was such a honest, authentic way for country music and a storytelling that I fell in love with. It was easier to relate to the music. And I didn't grow up in a family where they listened to a lot of country, so I was kind of doing that all on my own. And when I noticed the difference between going to a concert, maybe say like my favorite person ever, Celine Dion, versus a LeAnn Rimes or a Martina McBride. They would get up on stage in like one outfit and just sing. and it was just really raw and there. Versus when you go maybe somewhere on a pop show, there's a lot of costume changes, dance routines, a lot of tracks, everything that just kind of makes the show big, which is also great and has its own art form. But I just fell in love with just the raw. They're in maybe a sparkly t-shirt, but a pair of jeans, and they're just singing for,
Right.
an hour and a half. And that's enough.
Right. And Leanne Rimes started, she was 13, I think. She had a big hit.
Yeah, what it was on Star Search or something like
yes,
that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And her voice reminds me of Patsy Cline. I mean, she's got that kind of a sound.
Yeah,
But,
she's amazing.
well, we've got Tiffany Woys in our studio, so would you do a song for us? We'd like to hear
I
you
would
sing.
love to.
You
First
and the
song-
boys?
Yeah, first song. Oh, by the way, I'd love to
Introduce the
them. Yeah,
guys.
this is Kurt, and this is Adam. These are my guys. And the first song I want to do was actually my first single that premiered on the top 20 of Radio Disney Country, which was really, really cool. This one's called Priceless.
My kiss, I know you want it, but it's priceless. I'll give it to you for free, baby. All you gotta do is see me, baby, and realize I'm not some drink at a bar on a Saturday night. I'm not some fine dine dinner that you offer to buy. I'm not some dozen roses, glass of champagne, heart-shaped box on Valentine's Day. You gotta give me what I'm worth, baby. My love is priceless, priceless. My heart, it ain't some shiny new sports car. And if you can't afford to give me every bit of your love, then baby, just keep it to yourself. I'm not some drink at a bar on a Saturday night. I'm not some fine dine dinner that you offer to buy. I'm not some dozen roses, glass of champagne, heart-shaped box on Valentine's Day. You gotta give me what I'm worth, baby. My love is priceless. Ain't about that money if you want it. Give me a little of that something, honey. Boy, you can't always know. Just hold me like you know. My love is priceless, priceless. I'm not some candy red Ferrari that you wanna show off. I'm not some princess cut platinum diamond ring that you bought. I'm not some drink at a bar on a Saturday night. I'm not some fine dine dinner that you offer to buy. I'm not some dozen roses, glass of champagne, heart-shaped box on Valentine's Day. You gotta give me what I'm worth, baby. My love is priceless. Ain't about that money if you want it. Give me a little of that something, honey. Boy, you can't always know. Just hold me like you know. My love is priceless, priceless. Gotta give me what I'm worth, baby.
Yeah, Tiffany Woys, sounding great. Love it, love it. Sounding great. Love your voice.
Thank you so much.
Powerful voice. And the sound is not what you'd call twangy, traditional country. You're very modern
Very.
country.
And that's the authentic part of me is I feel like that would just not be. I'm from California. Was never brought up anywhere in the South. So I think if I were to come on here with a twang or, a little y'all for you, I don't know if that wouldn't be me.
Right,
And
right.
I wouldn't want anyone meeting me for the first time. I'm not a phony. I'm here to be honest and to be myself and hoping that that's enough for country music.
Well, it's a great time. Country music, there's a lot of crossover now.
There is.
Florida Georgia Line, Dan and Shay, all the country artists who are, crossing over into the pop world.
And there's quite a few coming from California. Brett Young, Cam, John Party, Tyler Rich. And so it's really cool because I don't want to say, I mean, they've kind of helped pave my way and other people artists from California, because I think it's difficult coming from California, and a lot of people, the question they ask, well, why not pop? And after a while you're like, well, why pop? Just because I'm in California?
Right.
I don't think location determines genre, and genre doesn't determine location. I think it's just whatever your heart wants and what you want to do, and country was where I found a home.
Any acting aspirations? I mean,
I did plays and stuff, but I gotta be honest, I'm not good at reading like a script or like a teleprompt. Maybe if it was like off the cuff, I sound like I'm reading something. So I'm not very good at that, and I'm honest about what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. I don't think acting's my thing. I don't think acting's
how
my
about
thing.
songwriting? If that's something came easy for you or no?
So I love to write, but songwriting was never the dream for me. So will I dive into that later and really and hope to get more involved in that? Absolutely. I think there's something really special about that. And I have done some songwriting. But for me right now, the music that I release, I really kind of actually want it to be other writers for a few reasons. Nashville is all about the song. Country music is first and foremost about the song. I started this whole journey as being a vocalist and an entertainer, and Nashville is such a community of songwriters. It's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. And we're in this kind of singer-songwriter genre right now, which is super awesome. But there are so many writers that have their work that is never going to get heard. It's just going to collect cobwebs. And I can be a vehicle for that kind of person to take a song off of a shelf that's been sitting for 5-6 years and actually get it heard, because there's so much music that you'll never get the opportunity to hear, because unfortunately a lot of artists don't want to cut things that maybe their name isn't on, and I totally respect it. But I don't mind taking it back to the day where people like Martina and Faith would do outside cuts, and people still do, and I wouldn't mind continuing that journey and getting writers to succeed with the artists, because a lot of the time you hear an artist sing a song and you don't ever question who wrote it. You kind of just naturally just think maybe it's the artist, and that's my job, is to make you feel something, and I have to relate to that song just as much when the writer wrote it is when I sing it. And I think right there that makes a really good partnership, and if I can succeed with the writers in town, then that's what I want to do.
It's interesting, and it's probably also a bit challenging, because some of these songs are your story. I mean, the pain and the relationships.
All of them are. I will never take a cut if I, for the very first, not even on the second listen, the first listen, if I don't immediately take it back to a time for me or something that I'm going through at that moment, I will never take, because then you lose the authenticity of it all. And that's what I pride myself on as being an artist. And that's why it took 6 years to get 4 songs. It was quite the process, because I wouldn't take something just because, say, something came across my desk that was, say, maybe a bigger writer name. And I think a lot of times you can get clouded as an artist when you see a name that is on, like, their songs are on the radio right now. You're like, oh yeah, but it's like, if the song doesn't fit me, it doesn't fit me. So I have a great span of songs where some of the writers are bigger names and some of them are people you might have never heard before. And I'm really such a pioneer for the writers where if they haven't got a cut on the radio, I would love to be that artist. Like, pitch me your songs. I would love to do that with you.
Well, I know you're getting a lot of attention and as they say, good buzz. I mean, CMT has been singing your praises, country music television. The country world is talking about you, so that's exciting. This is an exciting time. Do you have plans for an album? I mean, it took 6 years for an EP, but how about an album? Is that in the works?
As an independent right now, I think I released the EP so that there was a body of work out there that people can go back to see me as an artist. Because I think sometimes if you just release a single, it's very hard to kind of gauge someone as an artist. You need to give them a little bit of everything, a little bit more of the meat and the potatoes. And for me, now that I've released the EP, I think I'm going to go on more of a single-to-single strategy, just because, and that's more just like on a business end where for the listener, it's easier for someone to obtain one song. And it's hard to get people's attention. If you're just releasing things out into the world of Spotify or, Apple, it's hard to get your music heard on a bigger platform. So I think when you release something, a huge body of work, and you don't have, the backing of maybe of a label or something, it's a little bit more difficult to grab the attention of people. So I think I'm going to do the single strategy for a while until until I don't know when.
Till the phone rings. Well, you're in a situation right now. The business is that way because albums are hard to sell, and
Very hard to sell.
It's a singles-driven business
Yeah,
currently.
and
So.
I think I'm one of the few people. I mean, I talk to everybody, and they think I'm crazy too. Maybe you're gonna feel the same way. I still buy all my music.
Okay.
I have a Spotify account. I have all that, and I pay for that too. But I've always been the person that if I really like someone and I'm a fan, I go and I spend that money because that's important to the artist. And I definitely still buy my music, and I think I might be the only person.
Well, that's nice that you believe in that.
Yeah,
I don't
I mean,
think that's crazy. I
yeah.
think that's being loyal to your craft. So that's,
I love
that's
it.
great.
It fills up the space on my iPhone, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
So you mentioned Disney a little while ago, and I know you're a huge Disney person, Disney
Yeah.
fan. I know that they gave you some love, and your song did very well on the Disney chart. But you've given Disney an awful lot of love over the years. I think you went to Disneyland
just hoping for
100
that free
times.
pass.
100 times.
Probably over. I've been over.
Every ride, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But it's so funny. If I've only been to Disney World twice.
Okay.
But now that I'm in Tennessee, I'm so closer to that. So I'm trying to make that more of a thing. But I always had an annual pass to Disneyland, and we were just raised on Disney. So my mom worked at Disneyland. She was Cinderella in the electrical light parade and worked the rides and everything. So we were just raised on on Disney. And what Disney meant to me then is so different what it means to me now as an adult. I think I love it more now. I can go to Disney and sit on a bench and just watch people as they walk in, and just the smiles on their face make me happy. It's not creepy. I just really, really love, even what the company represents about like dreams coming true and kind of living in this alter land, this world where the outside stresses of life don't exist, and you can just be a kid again. And I kind of feel like that's what music kind of does for people too. It's very nostalgic. It brings people together, and I just really love what the company represents. So being able to work with the company in any fashion has been an absolute dream. And Phil over at Radio Disney is such a pioneer for not only women but for independence, and that is really hard to come across in radio because it's very hard, obviously, to get your music heard on radio, not only as a female, as we've all heard, but as an independent. It's almost impossible. So for him to take people on like me and for my song to reach in the top 20 as an independent was like a pinch me, like, are you kidding moment, really, really, really cool. And I hope to have more music on Radio Disney. And visiting their offices is cool because I get to go back to California and everything like that. But yeah, overall, all of Disney. I could gush about Disney forever. So Disney.
And because of the job that you have, hopefully there's a lot of international performing involved. If not now, soon.
Yeah.
And then you can get to go to the Disneyland places in the different parts of the world,
I
like
would
Japan.
love to go to all of
or-
them. Yeah. I mean, that's such a dream too, is to go to all the parks. Heck yeah.
On your bucket list.
It's such a bucket list of mine.
We're talking with Tiffany Woys, who's promoting her new EP. Now, you're not doing a tour because I looked at your website, so there isn't a tour.
No, and I hope so soon. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to in, coming to the end of 2019 and into 2020 is I just miss performing on a stage. So that's basically my background, is because I was in a place where it was really hard to get music heard, even though I was in California, but for country at least. I put a band together when I came home from college, and I toured up and down the West Coast, and that's where I just found my niche, was in entertaining and being on a stage. And I did that in all the honky tonks, the 3 to 4 hour gigs, and which was great, a learning lesson. Don't regret it. Don't want to do it again, but it was definitely worth it. And I miss just being on stage. Now I'm like, maybe I would take the 3 hour bar gig because I miss it so much. And there isn't a lot of that in Nashville, which is shocking to think. But as like an artist that's really pursuing, there aren't a lot of those gigs. There's showcases and stuff like that, but there isn't like full on where you can just get up on a stage for an hour and sing with a full band. A lot of it is writers' rounds or acoustic performances.
Right.
And I love acoustic. I found a love with acoustic, but my heart is with full band. I love just getting up there and owning a stage with a microphone, and I miss that quite a bit. So hopefully touring soon.
All right, we're going to give you a chance to own the microphone right now. If you'd sing another song, I'm sure the worldwide audience would love to see and hear Tiffany
Yeah.
Woys.
So this next song means so much to me. It's on the EP. It's called Love Has No Heart, and it's actually written by 3 very big writers, Shane McAnally, Trevor Rosen, and Sarah Hayes. And I didn't know that they had written it prior to it being pitched to me, and I found out it was actually on hold for Brett Young. So I thought, there's no way, and I can't even believe someone allowed me to have this song in my inbox, but that's really, really cool. And I was in a very happy relationship at the time, and this song was meant to be told by someone who had their heart broken. So I was okay with letting it go because I wasn't in that place. After I moved to Nashville, my boyfriend of almost 5 years called me on the phone and was like, listen, I don't love you anymore. I'm never moving to Nashville, so sayonara kind of idea. And that was pretty devastating, but what was so cool about the way God works is I got a call not evenly a week later, and the song, Brett Young decided not to cut it, and I was next in line to cut it. And there was no song I could have written better than this song that told my story and how I was feeling. And it literally healed me. Like, music is such a powerful, cool thing. And this song took 3 times to record because I was a mess. But by the 3rd time, we really got it. And it's a part of me now, and it got me past the heartbreak, and now I've never been happier in my life. So it's really incredible, but this song means so much. It's called Love Has No Heart.
Like I had nothing better to do with my time than be here alone, looking at the phone, going over every word you said, just like a broken record playing the same sad song that I can't turn off. It starts with the glitter, the shiner, the shimmer, the flash of the picture, then after that, the fade of the glamour, the drop of the hammer, the pieces that shatter, the aftermath. Love just don't care who's in its path. Love won't slow down, and it don't look back. It don't give a damn who it tears apart. It just moves on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Love has no heart. What fools we are to think we're the only ones who figured out how to rise above the fury of the heat of the moment, the coming and going and never quite knowing if it's all done. The giving, the taking, the building, the breaking, and just when you're thinking you found the one, love just don't care who's in its path. Love won't slow down, and it don't look back. It don't give a damn who it tears apart. It just moves on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Love has no heart. It starts with the glitter, the shiner, the shimmer, the flash of the picture, then after that, the fade of the glamour, the drop of the hammer, the pieces that shatter, the aftermath. Love just don't care who's in its path. Love won't slow down, and it don't look back. It don't give a damn who it tears apart. It just moves on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Love
Beautiful.
Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Tiffany Woys, our guest here on Border Crossings. And so the phone rings. Tiffany, are you brokenhearted? Are you upset? We got a song for you to sing. That's kind of
Yeah.
interesting how that works out.
It really was because, I mean, from hearing it the first time, I knew it was a good song. I mean, there was no doubt about that. But it didn't fit my story. And so I was like, if I want to be really honest with myself and go back to the authenticity of what I'm wanting to do, sure, if I had felt that in the past, but not to the extent that I felt like the song needed. And then, lo and behold, I felt the largest heartbreak I've ever felt, and where you kind of feel like the floor is bottoming out. And I think we've all been there, and that's what's so cool about country music is I really love singing about love, the good, the bad, the ugly. That's what I feel comfortable with. There's a lot of other topics to sing about, but for me, that's what's really important to me, just because before I was an artist, I was a listener. And that's what I related to most. If you go through my iPod and shuffle through, it's all pretty much love songs because someone's always falling in love. Someone's always getting their heart broken or falling out of love. Those songs don't go out of style. So it's really important for me to do a service to the listener. And I always think about myself when I'm creating music. I'm thinking, okay, if I was young me out in the audience, would this do something for me? And I wasn't an artist at all. If I was just a listener and I was just buying music, because I know it's very easy for artists and musicians I think we should be selfish with the music and make what we love. We shouldn't make things that we don't love and we're not passionate about. But we also have a job. And especially if we want to be commercial and be out there in front of lots of people and be on those main stages, those people that buy those seats and those lawn seats, those are the people that matter, and they're listening to you. And so that's first and foremost my job, is to make sure that I'm making them feel something, alongside me, because I have to be the one performing it. But if it's something that's just for me, then I need to keep that for just me. I need to make sure that I'm releasing things that people really want to connect to. And throughout my EP and all my music, I have kind of like an order of things that I've arranged, and how it's kind of told my story and my path to finding love, because that's what has been such a big inspiration for me in my music, and what gets me through things, and also what I like to do when I'm happy too. And it's very easy for me to get into this path of singing things that aren't happy, because I don't know why I relate to stuff better that way, angry or sad, even if I am happy, and I'm incredibly happy now. And so I think now in the future, you'll start to hear more happy things from me. But with everything that I've released up till now has been not very happy, or but I don't know why that music just hits me. And I talk to a lot of people, and they say the same thing, that they're more drawn to, like, say, heartbreak or angry songs because it's really nostalgic of some kind. And I don't know. But so that's kind of my story on how I kind of pick music and what really inspires me and what I think the listener wants to hear.
A lot of people connect sad songs to country music.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't have to be at all, no.
Does your EP have a happy ending, or is it
Priceless
to be continued?
It is to be continued. Because when I had released the EP, I was still finding it. I was still finding all that happiness, and I got there. And so for me, my music hadn't represented that yet. Like, Priceless was kind of like my anthem to say, like, hey, this is what I'm looking for now. And if you're not going to measure up, I've been there, done it, seen it. Like, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm like, I don't want to say I'm too old, because I'm not too old, but also too old for this.
Right.
So that was kind of my last, like, yep, we're good. We're good.
Well, so if people see you in concert now, should they bring tissues with them? Is that kind of...
I actually think more so Love Has No Heart is really my only sad song. The rest of them are kind of more like kick butt.
All right.
Which I like, because I'm a pretty strong girl. I don't stay down very long. So, like, that heartbreak that was, like, devastating, it kept me down for genuinely 30 days. Well, and that's it.
We're glad you're back. We're glad you're back.
Yeah.
You found your groove.
I did.
Tiffany found her groove. So, people want to see you online, find your website. It is?
It's everything's under my full name, Tiffany Woys.
Okay. And Woys comes from what? What is the background, the family?
Polish
name.
Yeah.
Woys, okay.
So what's actually a fun fact is my real last name before my family moved to America it's Woyzinski.
Okay.
And then they chopped it for some reason.
We're all immigrants. You know, we came from somewhere.
Yeah, and I was originally, my artist name, if you search back like far into the Tiffany world, I went by my middle name, Lorraine, and which is my grandma on my Polish side. And then I was like, again, going back to the authenticity, I wanted to just, even though it's a little harder to pronounce, I know a lot of people have a hard time with it. But I think once you hear it once, you'll never mess it up again. And I always tell people it's like boys or toys, but with a W.
That's right.
And then it's like good, but I mean, even all the graduations I've had, people have messed it up. So I'm used to it being messed up. And I was like, hey, but once you get it messed up once and you realize what it is, you'll never get it wrong again. I promise. But yeah, I wanted to go back to Woys because it was just really authentic in me.
And then if you go on tour with a sibling, you can be the Woys, not the Roys, the Woys.
Ooh, love my sister, not a singer.
Not a singer.
Love her to death. No one in my family actually. My dad will say otherwise. He'll be like, no, I've got it. And I'm like, no, you don't. I think I got any of my singing capability from my grandpa on my mom's side. He liked Frank Sinatra and Louis Armstrong and that kind of stuff.
Classics,
and he loved music. So that was kind of my kind of hub and love of music was with him.
Would you do another song for us?
I would love to. So my new single that I just put out is called Hostage. And this song is definitely more of one of my kick butt songs. And it's about not being held hostage in a relationship, by your emotions. I think there's a lot of times where we stay longer than we should. Say even in a friendship. It doesn't matter what kind of relationship. But sometimes you feel comfortable or you're scared to leave. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why you don't leave something. And this is kind of like, hey, don't stay hostage in something. You got to, if this can get someone to leave sooner than they should, then I've done my job.
All right, Tiffany Woys.
Hostage.
I've tried to outrun you, but you know you never let me get too far from you. No, you chase me down till you catch my heart. I've tried to shake you, make you put your weapons down. We're through, still you keep coming back around. You won't stay but won't walk away. Just give me a chance to forget your name. You say you don't want more, but I'm at your door, and I don't wanna fight this war. Don't lock up my love, baby. Just let me go. You're holding my heart hostage. Let me go. You're holding my heart hostage. Let me go. You put my heart in handcuffs and threw away the keys. Now I can't escape this love, 'cause you're always there reminding me. Your kiss, your touch, haunting all my dreams. I wish I could erase your memory. You won't stay but won't walk away. Just give me a chance to forget your name. You say you don't want more, but I'm at your door, and I don't wanna fight this war. Don't lock up my love, baby. Just let me go. You're holding my heart hostage. Let me go. You're holding my heart hostage. Let me go. Release me, release my love, release me, release my love. Don't lock up my love, baby. Just let me go. You're holding my heart hostage. Let me go. You're holding my heart hostage. Let me go. You won't stay but won't walk away. Just give me a chance to forget your name. You say you don't want more, but I'm at your door, and I don't wanna fight this war. Don't lock up my love, baby. Just let me go.
Tiffany, thank you so much for being on the show. What a pleasure to
And
meet
I want
you
to
guys.
introduce them again. This is Kurt, and this is Adam.
All right. Harry Styles and Brandon Flowers from The Killers. See?
You know what? I did not. Now I can't unsee it.
Now,
They-
this is it. Now I put it, the seed has been planted.
I can't unsee it.
The
now.
seed has been planted. And you can call her Ariana Grande. See, see.
Yeah, it's the pony, isn't it?
Well, Tiffany Woys, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me, and I love your shirt.
Thank you.
so-
Please come back and see us again.
I would love
next time
to.
you're in D.C.
Thank you.
Tiffany Woys, our guest. The new EP is called Tiffany Woys. My name's Larry London, and this is Border Crossings.